25 minutes before 11 o'clock. It is for damage control. Joe Rackle is in the studio. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
I saw a photo on Facebook of another house with holes in the roof.
Yes.
Is that recent?
Yeah, that was Sunday night. Both those pictures from yesterday were from houses that happened Sunday night. A little bit of wind come through and knock some trees down.
Oh, wow. And was it a hard to find location? I noticed you were thanking somebody for helping you.
Well, no, a lot of the jobs that we get are referrals. So, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and he told me where one was, and he said he heard of another one on a different, street,
Right.
but he didn't know where. I just heard the street. So when I posted on Facebook, hey, if anyone knows, then I got some response from that. So unfortunately, well, fortunately for them, they already had someone. Unfortunately for me, it wasn't me. So
I gotcha. Yeah.
They were taken care of by they had got the tree off, but I was there to took some pictures of it because that is exactly what I'm looking for. There's my phone going off.
You're orange colors, yeah.
Yeah, but so that was kind of the I wanted to thank the people that had given me the referrals, even though it didn't turn out.
Do you ever protect somebody's house and at the same time obviously get yourself out of a job? If you say that tree is going to fall any day, you need to call a tree surgeon or whatever you call.
Right, and that is a lot of what we like to encourage this time of the year. Right now, we're going into hurricane season.
Yeah.
June 1st starts hurricane season. This time of the year we get a lot of spring, a lot of the rains, the spring showers that loosens up the soil. Sunday night, get a little bit of wind, and down comes trees. So, with that being said, we like to encourage people to take the proactive proactive steps and get either have us come out, take a look at their home, see what could be done, or call a tree surgeon just to have them look over the property because they can look at a tree and tell you, this is the tree that's going to come down. And if you've got a lot of limbs overhanging a house, it's always safe to clean those up anyway.
Yeah, right.
Just to get, the more shade. Shade is good, but if it's too close, we're not getting airflow to dry the shingles. That deteriorates the shingles, and
right.
you get a lot of leaf build up and
so
water build up. So
is that ever a part of what you would do? Is that the damage you sometimes control? Is maybe like when we see a hole, if that's obvious. But if moisture gets under the shingles and causes some rotting of that wood, that's just as important. You got to get that fixed too.
Yeah, and that typically is not something covered under your insurance policy.
Oh, not.
That is,
really?
That's considered maintenance. So a lot of the things that you need, a homeowner should be doing are, as far as upkeep and maintenance of a home, will protect further damage from happening. And that's why it's important to do this. Yesterday the hurricane forecast came out, and I've got it right here. I'm looking at it. 19 named storms, 9 of which attained hurricane strength last year, and they're predicting the same thing, real similar for this year coming up. So, as far as they were saying, 18 named storms, 95 named storm days, 9 hurricanes, 40 hurricane days, and 4 major hurricanes. When that's 111 mile per hour or higher, and 9 major hurricane days. That's the prediction for this year's hurricane season. So, that granted, that covers the whole
the Atlantic,
the whole Atlantic Ocean. But it's been 7 years, I believe it's 7 years since we've had one hit Florida. Yeah, 7 consecutive years since we've had a storm hit Florida.
Oh, 4 was a big year. Do you know, we had a discussion with a meteorologist one time, and the question was, how accurate are those predictions? Because it seems like it's the same prediction every year. It's going to be bad. And the meteorologist said they are 94% accurate. Of course, it doesn't look like it because it doesn't hit here.
Right.
But when they predict that they're going to happen, they predict that they're going to happen, like you pointed out,
Right.
somewhere in the Atlantic, and they're 94% accurate. I thought that was pretty amazing. Which
Well,
which means, how lucky are we if all those storms actually happen and none of them came our way except for a few, very few.
Right. And that's what they say. There's, there's a 72. This report yesterday said there's a 72% chance that a major hurricane, Category 3 or higher, could make landfall along the entire U.S. coastline.
Right.
So 72% chance that it could happen.
And that's a long coastline.
That is a long coastline, but you think about the devastation that causes. Are you willing to take that chance?
Do you know what I've often been confused about, though? We talk about insurance, but there's also this other funding called FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
When there's a hurricane that comes through and FEMA decides to help out, there was a case, I think it was Katrina, where Katrina didn't hit us, but Katrina was large enough that it did spawn some tornadoes. In fact, I know of one here in Denali, in Marion County. Okay.
Right.
So that tornado was spawned by a hurricane that eventually got FEMA greatly involved, and yet, you could ask any meteorologist, was that spawned from Katrina, and they would say yes, but yet FEMA wouldn't cover that poor family over in Denali that had that tornado.
Yeah.
So it's just, I guess your own personal insurance is your only real protection.
Exactly. And that's, we're talking about federal assistance.
Yeah.
We talk about FEMA, and they were unfortunately greatly. Anytime there's a huge disaster like that, all of your agencies are greatly understaffed. When it comes to taking care. And I remember, for Mike and I, my brother-in-law, went down to Punta Gorda and Arcadia, Wauchula, that area, doing the relief work, and there's no street signs. The stop signs or stop lights aren't working. Going down the interstate, the big signs that tell you what exit it is they're blown over.
Oh,
I mean, you really you,
I didn't know that.
you don't
That was
realize
Katrina or Andrew.
that was in '04 whenever we had the
Oh, okay.
Charlie and Francis
Okay.
and all those come through. So, for me, I had no idea how bad it really was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it on TV, and yeah, it looks bad, but until you're there and everywhere you look is devastation,
Yeah, right.
you don't realize, no matter how big your TV is, you're still just looking at a little portion of it. And until you're in the mix of it.
So I have a question for you. Now, this is based on the Hurricane Andrew stories, and so maybe this doesn't apply anymore because I heard that the building standards changed after that.
Right.
But if we are going to protect our homes, when Hurricane Andrew went through, one of the stories was that the Habitat for Humanity homes were the ones that dealt with it the best, because Habitat for Humanity homes were using real and long nails, whereas many of the other homes were still using these air gun nails, whatever, and I guess they're not strong. Okay, so could I protect my own home if I somehow went around and fortified it with bigger nails? Would that actually help?
Well,
It'd be a lot of work, but
it would be, and here again, a lot of the homes, as far as to go back and retrofit a home with, better fasteners or whatever, there are things that can be done. If your home is built on piers, you can go under the house and fasten it down better, and that's what sometimes insurance companies will require stuff like this to be done in order to insure them. Your older homes, the way that built years ago, it's sadly there's more gravity than anything else holding them. But a lot of times this is costly. It is, it's a very costly endeavor. It's very time consuming. There's a lot of labor. So it's hard to do it, and a lot of the areas of concern would be like your roof structure. So there really isn't a way to fasten your roof structure down, because of the way a home is built retro, unless you take the soften it out, or you take ceilings down inside. So there's a stopping point where it's really not worth, or, not feasible or not able to do it. But there are quite a few things that you can do to protect your home. For example, boarding up the windows. If you've got a storm coming through.
Yeah.
Making sure that, if, in advance that you have some tarps on hand in case you have to tarp in your roof, because shingles are blown off, or a portion of your roof is blown off.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you have some materials that you can fix things. And then there's things you can do inside as well, as far as like excuse me, a person I knew had a storm surge come through, and they had stuff on the floor that they forgot about or whatever, and it got damaged and ruined. So you can set things up in case of valuable things. Set them up, in case water does come in the home.
I have a question about the boarding up of the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Some people seem to have done an excellent job of preparing for this. They will have the boards already.
Right.
The holes are already drilled for the screws. Everything's ready to go. And there are even places on the windows, and they usually mark the board. So this is for the left window in the front.
Right.
And that kind of thing. And so that sounds like it takes some talent. I mean, somebody knows what they're doing. If they did, some handyman or something fix them up with that.
Yeah.
Either they live there or they got somebody.
Right. And that's not, I mean, it's not hard to do that ahead of time. I say it's not hard because I
guess
have,
that's what you do.
We have with our team, we have the talent, we have the tools,
right,
and
right.
the ability to do that type of thing. So to cut boards for a home, it doesn't take long to do. Then all you need to do is have a place to store them, and the ability to put them up in the event that something happens, or you contact someone like somebody like our company and say, hey, I need, we've got a storm coming in, I want you to board our house up, and that's something that we can do. So,
oh wow! See, another reason to put the number on the refrigerator.
right,
Yeah, yeah,
refrigerator magnet.
yeah, yeah.
So, and they also have, different. There's different technology out there as far as clips that you can clip in protection in case or actual storm shutters that can be installed and look like they're meant to be on the homes.
And that was the whole purpose of shutters, probably.
Right.
Originally, right?
Right. Originally, that was the purpose of shutters, so you could close.
Now, what is the theory? And maybe I'm asking something that's not related, but what is the theory behind keeping the door open? In other words, keeping the air pressure equal to the outside by keeping something open. Yeah, have you ever heard this? That if you close everything up, then the pressure inside is going to be unequal to the pressure outside, and that causes the house to implode or explode or something.
Well, I'm not really sure how that works, but the only thing I could liken it to is a lot of times, like large signs, for example, you'll see that they have little slits in them so that the air can go through,
Yeah.
versus blowing it over.
Right.
I mean, that's what I would liken it to. Typically, I'm not going to keep a window or a door open if the rain's
Well, that's for
coming
the
in.
wind force.
Right.
But when the air pressure is greatly different
I
outside.
don't really know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And I've heard that, but I don't know the truth about it. So, oh well.
We'll have to do some research.
You see these movies, with this house like splinters apart. You know,
That's Hollywood.
I know, but I mean, is it based on something? I don't know.
The thrill,
The thrill of watching it, right?
shock, and awe of the audience.
Yeah.
We'll have to check into that, Larry. We'll do a little research.
Yeah, what happens when the house is airtight?
Well, and that's a lot of times that is, modern technology and modern building techniques that they have built homes that are more airtight than others. The homes years ago, the Florida Cracker homes, for example, you had, they're built up on stilts, so you had airflow going under them, and
Yeah, right.
the way that they built the homes, you had more airflow
So
going
Dorothy Peter Oz, by the way.
Exactly. Exactly. Some red shoes.
Let me invite somebody to call in if you have a question for Joe. The number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, which is 352-622-9622. Obviously, you do not need the area code if you're here in Ocala or in Marion County. And boy, that's all I needed to say. We got all the lines split up at once. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
I'm speaking about a house that's stucco and it has some brick accent, but on the outside of the house it's a natural fireplace in a chimney going all the way up to the roof. It's all brick, and it looks to me like that is starting to lean away from the building. Is there any way that can be secured, or would we have to start from scratch and kind of go back down to the foundation on something like that?
Well, that's a good question. Difficult for me to answer without really seeing it. However, they will unfortunately separate pull away because of settling. Could be settling.
Yeah.
Could be, structurally it wasn't built right.
Yeah.
Possibly. There could be, without really seeing it and not knowing, you could probably put some brackets, use some concrete screws, tap cons,
yeah,
in order to fasten it into the brick of the chimney,
yeah,
and then into the house.
Right, I've seen that happen.
Right.
Done already. Yeah.
That might be an an option.
Yeah.
I'm not real sure as far as getting, filling that void. How you would push, basically how you would push the chimney over without really looking at it.
Yeah.
But then you might be causing more of a problem.
Yeah, right. Is there some way that they might want to check the underneath the chimney, the foundation? They see there was a problem there, and then, like, maybe fill that up with concrete or whatever to stabilize it.
Well, yes.
Because
if you're going for a yes or no answer, yes.
Yeah, there seems to be settling on that side of the house, like I'm not talking sinkhole here, but
right.
The ground is going down, and I think that's what's causing the chimney to move out a little bit.
It is very possible. How old is the home talking
90.
about? Oh, built 90.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're, 13 years old. What, trying to think.
23 years.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
23 years old.
That's a little older.
Yeah, a little older. What is, I mean, how big of a crack are we talking?
Oh, I would say you could probably have a caulking gun and fill it. I mean, it's I don't know, half an inch maybe, or a little bit more on the top.
Okay.
But you could fill it up with putty or something, or caulking, I suppose, to keep water or whatever out of it.
Yeah.
But I noticed just looking at it, it seems to be a little on a ladder up on top, a little bit more than it had been.
Right.
And the ground next to it seems to have sunken a little bit more. I don't know, because of the drought again we're in, or whatever is going on.
Could be. I mean, there's constant movement.
Yeah.
Freezing and thawing and expanding
Something that you guys could
contracting.
take care of.
Well, not necessarily. That's something I would call in, someone that does fireplaces, a mason of some sort.
Yeah.
Have his professional opinion. As far as have them look at it, that would be the route that I would go.
Right. Is it that you see fairly often, or is it kind of unusual?
Yes, that is a very common thing where a house is, where a chimney is built on the exterior of a house like that. It will separate.
Would it be because of the sandy soil here in Florida that something like that would likely happen? And then, let's say up north where it's clay.
Well, it'll happen up north too.
Yeah.
Especially because you have more of extreme weather conditions there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, a lot of it is the quality of the construction.
Right.
I mean, there's all types of variables. It could be from the way it was built originally to the foundation or the lack of foundation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to have somebody come and take a look at it.
I would check with them, some masons, and have them look at it. I mean, there could be ways to retro.
To secure it up.
Yeah, put a bracket in there of some sort to secure it to the house, or it might be something, just as far as using some expandable caulking, and filling, just to keep, that will will cause more damage as well.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
wait till after there's a period where it hasn't rained for quite a while, and fill that area up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And protect. Keep more water from coming in.
In a way, keep it on it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for the information.
You're welcome.
You
Thanks
bet.
for the call.
Yeah. Bye now.
And the phone lines are open if you have a question for Joe, or you want to just make a comment on something that was said in the program. Could we call you? I mean, is this inappropriate? No damage has happened yet. Could we just say, hey, Joe, can you guys come out and kind of look at my face and see if there's anything that's vulnerable and give me some advice?
Yes. I invite the opportunity. We look for homeowners associations to talk with, or even just individual homeowners. If you have a home, I can come out there, take a look at it, give you some, a professional opinion ahead of time and say, that tree is leaning over the house. You might want to get rid of that. Or, your neighbors got several trees here. You might want to talk to them, or whatever the situation. I've got no problem doing that.
That's a good idea. The homeowners association. I can imagine even other groups, church groups, for example.
Yes.
If so, they could have you address their group and answer their questions.
Yeah, I invite the opportunity to do free talks. We've got one coming up at the end of May with there's Diana Holder Insurance. She's putting it together. She's got a home inspector, myself, and then there's one other professional, and I'm not sure exactly which one, but the four of us are going to be talking to a group of homeowners.
I think she was a guest on the show, Diana Holder.
She probably was.
Yeah.
She's
What's her business?
Holder Insurance.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful lady. But she's put this together to be able to help out. We're doing two different talks like this, and it's going to be, I think, 50 to 60 homeowners, and how they can, be prepared, have the knowledge ahead of time, to make proper decisions as far is getting the proper insurance, making sure that your coverage is adequate, and then what to do in the event that you have to use this insurance. What is the steps? What is, what's the process? How do you go about doing it?
Yeah. So if you compare it to the Three Little Pigs, you're gonna go to the straw house. You can say, that brother of yours with the brick. Why don't you take his advice?
Right.
Yeah.
You might want to do a brick house.
I mean, it's kind of a way of looking at it, right? We might be setting ourselves up for something that we don't really want to have, and the expense now is probably better than the heartache and expense later on.
Exactly. I mean, to take a tree down, depending on the location or the size, typically to take a tree down ahead of time is a lot less costly than to have to go through your insurance company.
That's right. Yeah.
And make all the do everything in order to get rid of and clean up the after effects.
And it looks like you have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Hey, good morning. Good program.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what I do, and you tell me if I'm doing a good thing or not as far as storm protection.
Sure.
I got a two-car garage, newly built home, and I have the beams, 6 of them that go across to reinforce it for wind.
Okay.
All right. Now I got a new car inside the garage. Now what I do is I roll up huge, like a moving pad, and put it between the car and the garage. I push the car back against the garage door and set the parking brake so that it's nice and tight. And I know the door's going to vibrate, and I don't want to mess up my paint, so I got that moving pad there.
Right.
And then I park my truck, which I care less about, across the driveway to keep the wind off of the. Now, is that a good idea? If it is, pass it on to other people, or if you think I'm.
As far you park it across the driveway in front of the garage door.
Oh yeah, on the outside of the garage door, I park it crossways to keep as much wind as I can.
To buffer the wind. That's a great idea, and that is a weak point. I mean, garage doors are built to withstand certain amounts of wind, it probably is. It probably is, and you know, depending on where it's located, as far as you know which direction it's facing, or but that's right, and which direction the wind is, you know, the storms are coming. But that is a very good. I mean, wouldn't have thought about parking the car inside, pushing it up to the door, but
Yeah,
you know, and just on the outside blocking, you know, using the truck to block the wind is a great thought. So yeah, thanks.
The car inside the Ford and the Chevy's on the outside. Now I'll tell you another tip. When plywood was scarce, when an '04 storm was coming through, and I finally was able to go down to the local place and get it, it was still warm from being produced.
A lot of times too is when it's sit out in the sun, it will absorb heat for sure. A lot of times it gets hot. So
my son-in-law took half of his wood. I took the other half.
yeah,
His all warped, and I don't think they could be reused. Where I took mine and I ran screws. I stacked them up and ran screws through all the corners and let them cure.
yeah.
And today they're just as straight and can be, and they'll fit right where they should. So
Well, good deal.
if anybody has plywood that they made shutters out of, fresh plywood, I bet you they won't fit today. Make sure you check them before the storm hits.
Well, I appreciate your call today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the hints.
Good program.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's probably real true. You're probably not aware of the wood warping in your back shed or something like that, right? Joe, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 352-817-6574. My email is joe@damageflorida. So you can reach me on
.com?
yeah, damageflorida.com.
Okay. Yeah. Usually it is. Well, Joe, thank you for all you do, for coming in, giving us a good show each week, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
All right, hang in there. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
1370 WOCA.
ABC News.